So in nested if else, we just will see the syntax as one if else, outer if else, which is the general one which we have used till now. Inside either if or else block, we can write another pair of if else block. So that means the second if else is called as nested. It is nested or it's inside another if condition. So this second one is called as the nested if else condition. And this concept when we are going to use is like whenever we have criteria, like one or more criteria which are mandated. We have both has to be true. Like both should be true. So which we used to do with the which we can do with the and operator, logical and operator. So such questions we can solve with the if else nesting. Just take an example that if a person's score in the test one is more than or equal to 65, and also I have to test then only the second test. So if he passed in the first test only, then I have to check his score in the second test. And if that score is also more than or equal to 65, that means he's shortlisted for some exam. Maybe I'll just say shortlisted for an interview or something. Otherwise, if he fails in any of this, if he fails here or in the second, in any one of them he fails, it's not shortlisted. So in this, the concept is how many criteria are there? We have to check his score in the first exam, and if it's true only, I have to check the second test. Just think that he scored over 35 in the first exam. Now, is there any need for me to check his second score? You have to check his second score also and then get the result that he's shortlisted or not. If he's already not satisfying the first exam, he's not cleared the first exam. So can we or should we go and check the second score? Is there any
No.
need? Not
No.
required. So that means the outer one is just having the test one score. If it is more than equal to 65, it's true. Then only I'll go and check his second score. Then only I'll just say that he is shortlisted. Just think if his test score is 85, test 1 is he scored 85, and test 2 he scored some 35. Now, according to this condition, the first condition is true. Because it is true, I have to exclude the first part. I cannot immediately say it's not shortlisted. I can't say that. So generally, if he fails in the first exam, directly I can say he's not shortlisted as failed in the first exam or test. Okay. But now, since he's already cleared the first exam, so he's passed in the first exam, now I have to go and check his second score. But second score is not satisfied this condition, so I cannot print this. I'll go to the else of the second if. So in the second else, which is a nested else, we should have the same sentence or same message. That is not shortlisted, but due to which exam? Yes, failed in exam. Same program, instead of writing such a complicated if else nested, we used to do with logical and operator. If you remember. So in the logical and, what we used to do, I have to just write the first criteria if test 1 is more than or equal to 65, and also I have to test the second two should also be equal to more than or equal to 65. Then I can say the message as his shortlist, but I cannot say in which. Okay, if he's failed, I cannot give a proper message that in which exam he has failed. So here it's like a general message, not shortlist. But if you want to give specific failure messages, then definitely this is the only way. Like we have to go for every case separately. So whether he has failed in the first exam or second exam, if I have to give it separately, I need to go for nested defense. Because in nested defense, I have two failure cases. So first failure case message, sorry, the first failure case is the outer message. And if he failed in the second one, so I'll get the second result. So the performance wise, this is more better when compared to nested. Logical and one is better than the if else nested. Because coding wise also it is complicated. Coding is in more lines. Compiler has to check this condition. Other than that, if I write the same program in this way, it is performance wise faster because logical AND is also called as short circuit operator. Short circuit operator. So what is the meaning of short circuit operator? So just think that if you have failed in the first exam, the score is in the first exam 25 or 35 or 40. So what is your first result says? Already false. Now is there any need to check the second marks? Or can I directly check the first answer and give the answer as not shortlisted? In AND, there are two conditions. I already failed in the first exam. It's a false criteria. Should I check the second one or can I directly take a decision?
No need to check the second.
Yeah, so that is called a short circuit. Means in short, faster I can take a decision. In AND, if the first condition is false, don't have to check the second. This is for AND operator. Same way, logical OR. This is also called as short circuit. So in this also, what happens if the first one is true? First condition is true. So should I check the second one? Is there a need to check the second one?
No need.
So the compiler also does not execute that line. So here we have to talk about execution. If this is false, this expression will not execute. It will not evaluate this expression. In the same way, if it's OR operator, if it's OR, and if it is true, this will never get executed. So that means decisions are taken in one expression only. In logical AND, if it is false, directly decision is taken. But it is not shortlisted. But in OR, if the first one is true, I don't even have to look at this part. Whether it's true or false doesn't matter. So this does not get executed. So the main concept of short circuit operator is without checking both I can give a decision. That is called a short circuit operator. So for logical AND, if the first one is true, AND operator, sorry, first one is false, then I can take a direct decision. And for logical OR, if first one is false, first one is true. Sorry. In that, we can test the expression immediately. So based on that also, we'll get a lot of questions actually in output-based questions. Generally, if I say something, okay, it is equal to 5. If I say if a plus plus and a or plus plus a, just to check this, what will be the output here? Let me put it as plus plus a. Now check the current value. Inside the there is an AND operation. So in this AND operation, what is the condition? Did I give a condition or did I give a direct increment operation? Both should be true.
Increment.
Yeah, increment. Is it false or true?
True.
True. So even if it is true, I have to go and check the second one because it is true. Fine. But now just think if it is 1 and I have done here as minus 1. So what will happen right now?
False.
So since it is false, do I have to go and execute this part?
No.
It will not get executed. So your output of the screen will be just a value is printed. And what is the a value which is printed right now?
0.
0. So this execution was not executed. This part was not executed because of short circuit operation. And then I have here as something else. What will be the output?
2.
True. This is also evaluated.
0.
By 0. This is
Okay, 1.
2. This
2.
is my 1. So answer is hello and 1. Both are true, no? Both are true.
Yeah.
So hello is printed and 1 is printed.
1.
So that part you have to remember. So on this operator, we have to check is the first one true or not. So same way, if I write here logical OR, and I mention here, okay, what will be the answer right now?
2.
It is increased to 2. It is true, so this will not get executed. And the answer is just 2. Right? Any confusion in this part? So
No.
whichever programs we can do with logical AND, means logical AND has two expressions that we can easily write with which concept? Nested if else. Whichever program we have written with logical AND operation, whatever I have written like this, can be easily written with the nested if else. Like write a program to check whether the entered alphabet is consonant or a vowel consonant. Check if the alphabet is consonant or vowel. So how will we write that for this program?
Using the ASCII value.
Yeah, ASCII value. So what should I check for the character? I don't know whatever you want. What is the condition for this?
We should use or.
Yeah, logical. So in this case, can I use nested if else? Here I said if it is equal to A or if it's equal to B, something like this, if I goes on. So I've used the logical OR operator. So here the message is it's a wrong. Else I just say it's a constant. So did I use a nested if else here? Is there any need to write this concept? Nested if else?
No.
No, because here we have used logical OR, not logical AND. Wherever we have logical AND operation, like if you score 60, above 70, or above 80, anything. Okay, if you're CSC or EC or some other stream, we can go for company one. So I'm giving three options here. But it's not like and, no, I never said and here. I said even if you're EC, even if you're CSC, any one branch. But if I give a criteria, like your mark should be more than 65, your stream should be CSC, and year of pass out should be 20, or all the three. Then only you're shortlisted for the company one. So that means all the three are mandatory. So for all the three, we will generally write the AND operations. Generally we have done that previously. If your stream is equal to CSC and your year of pass out is equal to 2020 and your total percentages more than or equal to 65, then you are shortlisted. So here I'm using which operators? AND operator. That means this also should be true, also this and also this. Then only I'll give that as a shortlisted. Else I have just a message that not shortlisted. Okay. So can I write this program with nested if else?
Yeah.
So this can be written with the nested if else. But not this. We can't use nested if else. Nested if else can be only used for logical operations. Okay. Once this is done, the next decision making control is switch case, which is most frequently used because this is performance which is better than the if else concept. Coding is less, syntax is less, and it's faster in performance compared to the if else, nested if else, whatever it is. So right now, when in which places I can use switch cases? Whichever programs we have written till now, with which concept? If else ladder. If else ladder, when can we use? When we have used that concept? When to apply if else ladder in program? At which
when
scenarios?
we have a few conditions.
Few conditions, optional conditions.
Options.
Yeah, when we have few optional conditions, like vowel cases. Like we can simply say vowel under constant. So all five letters we can say as. So five cases are vowel cases. So all those things I can write in if else ladder concept. If the character is in, then else if the character is something. So all those programs we can do it with switch cases. So the better case is here. We will write the variable whichever we have to accept from the user. So we will scan it from the user that coding will not happen. So once we have the character, that means here we write the code to accept the alpha. Right? Now after that, we are not checking it many times with the else keyword. So we are just trying to like switch and check which one is correct. Just like you press your switches in the house, like which is correct, which is the correct switch for a light right now. So here also I'll just switch my variable. This is having the value. I don't know which value you enter. It can be A or B or anything we have entered. We don't know. I have to switch its value and match it against various case values. So the syntax of switch is switch should be having in the brackets the variable for which we can have multiple values, multiple options. So CH can be vowel case or a consonant case. But vowel cases are five named cases. So the case is nothing but the values. What are the values for the vowels, right? So we are writing here as like if it's a capital. So I'm just writing another. Same with the second case. So I'm just mentioning in a single quotation because it's an alphabet. What is the sentence we are going to mention here? And we will say printf, it's a vowel. But what is the answer for this is second case also? Second case also has the same message. So the same message I'm writing for how many times? Five times. Instead of that, the keyword in the middle of each cases we write a keyword here just to separate them because it's not like an if else if concept, if else ladder. In if else ladder, what is the concept? If else if. When will the second case execute? Only if the first if condition is false. If the if condition is true, other else if cases will never execute. So there is only one case which will execute. Either if it fails, else if that also fails, third if else. So it goes on like a chain. But here it's not like if else if concept. There is no if or else if keywords here. It has just mentioned the value against which we have to match. So system will just check is the CH value matching with which letter A or not. If it is true, it will execute the statements followed by this. So if it is matching with this case, it will just execute everything inside the case. But after that, if this keyword is not missing, then it will not even check the other cases. It will start executing everything thereafter. Now it will not have to check the cases. Already it got a satisfied case. So it can just execute the statement and also other cases if the break keyword is missing. So it becomes mandatory like to give a boundary for each case or separation for each case with each keyword, break keyword. Because I want after execution of every case, I should quit. I should not go to the other cases in general. In generally, switch case we do that. But now, if user has entered A or let us say he has entered some other letter I. So where is that value right now in the line? Is it the first letter? Is it third letter? I have checked the CH value. Is it equal to A? It's not equal to A. So will it print vowel right now? It's not going to execute. So is it going to break out of the switch? No, it has to go to the go and check the second case. Same like else if. So it is going and checking whether the CH value is equal to which letter? E letter. Is it matching? No. So should it print? It cannot print because only if the case is matching, it can execute the block of case statements. Now it will not execute. So even though I didn't use a break keyword, there's no problem now. But now it has entered to which case? I case. Is it matching? Yes, it's matching. So what will be printed here? It's a vowel and With here also break is missing. So what will happen right now? It will enter into other cases and execute them also. So it will not check the case values now. It will directly go and execute the values of the cases. So that means it's a hold. Again, it will do for the next case also. So till it finds the break to come out of the cases, it will continuously flow into all the case ones like this. So there is no break keyword means it will execute all the statements inside the switch case once it is matching. Let's see that which was the letter we have entered right now. It is not matching in the first one, so it did not execute this line. It is not matching this, so it didn't even execute this line, but we found the matching case. So it has printed this sentence, but after that, since there is no break keyword, it cannot flow out of the switch block. It has to go and flow into the other cases also. So it has executed the next case without matching that. Next, there is no break keyword still, it is executing the third. Then it has gone into the default case also. Now default case is like an else case in if else line. So this also got executed. So our output is wrong right now. I should only get vowel only once. So when should I get that message? Only when the cases match. So once the cases match, generally we should break out. We should not go to the other cases. So for that reason, we have to write a keyword called break. So what is the usage of a break is? If there is a continuity in execution flow, and if you want to break that continuation, we have to use break keyword. So I can use this break keyword in switch cases one scenario, and later in loops will do. Whichever is a continuous process, like a iteration, that has to be broken in the middle through break keyword. So switch is a continuation. Why it is a continuation? If there is no break in the cases, so once this matching case is formed, it will go and execute all the remaining cases also. Continuously, it will jump from one case to another and execute it without checking. So that means to break the execution of the other cases, we have to separate them by which keyword? Break keyword. But here, for this program of consonant and vowel, what is the answer if it is A? Is it different answers for every letter or is it same for 5 letters? For this 5 cases, answer is same. Is the output same or different?
Same.
Same.
Same. So what we can do is a better programming is I will not write anything in the cases. I will not mention anything. I'll just skip this sentences and last I'll print this and then we will comment. This is the best coding. So that means I didn't mention anything in other cases right now. And I just continuously write it as a chain. So even if it's A, there is no statement here. So it will jump to the next case. It will now my letter is A. Actually, it should have printed something in this case book, but I didn't write anything here. Either a statement nor a break key. So there is nothing. So it will flow to the next case. Already it is matching. It has found the matching. But there is no statement to execute, no break to come out of this case. So because there is no break, so main point is no break keyword here. Because of missing break, it will flow into other cases also without check into all other cases if break is not found there also found in others also. So here it has gone to the second case. It is also not having any sentence, no output. I also does not have any sentence, so no output here also. So at last it has come to which case? Directly it has reached to U case where it has got the sentence. It has printed that sentence and after that what is the keyword? Break. So the switch stops execution. And if I miss this break keyword here also, what will happen? It will print a vowel sentence and also a consonant. So I should not do that. I should either get a vowel message or a consonant, but not both. So after this satisfied statement, I can just write a break key. Because for all these options, like these are the 5 options for which answer is same. So I can just write like an OR operation how we write, no? For A or E or I, same way. For case A or case C or case I, no answer is same. But after that, we should not go to the next else case because it is a continuation, not like if else ladder. Because in if else ladder, there is a separation with else if concept. But here they are continuously connected to each other if this keyword is missing. So to separate each case, and the last case is default, no case keyword used here. It is replaced for which case? Else cases, like in if else line, last option. So that should be executed or these should be executed. So I'm separating the all other cases with the default case with the break keyword. Now since default is the last keyword, anyhow there is no more execution left. So break keyword is optional. You may or may not write. It's not mandatory. So it's an optional keyword. And one more note point here is any case can be written in any order. Can be written in any order. It's not mandatory that I have to mention in the same order. See, instead of this case, if I write it in the beginning itself, is there any problem? They will change. It will check this character, what you are into. It will first check is it you or not. It's not matching. But there is no sentence also here. So now it will immediately flow into the second case because the first one is not matched. Now second one has matched. Only order of execution will change here. Means instead of checking with A, it has checked with B. That's the only difference. So even if I want, I can put the default case also on the top. I can put because this concept is not there in if else line. In if else, always else should be at the bottom. But default case also can be mentioned in the beginning. But what is important here? Now it becomes mandatory. And when will this default case execute? It will only execute after all the other cases fails. After all the cases are failed. So we don't have to think about order also. You can write anything in any order. Only the important point we have to remember is if you write by mistake or importantly for some reason if you write default in the beginning, so just write a break key. It becomes mandate. In rest all as usual. But generally we don't write default never. Very rare cases we write this part. So better part is always put it in the end of the session, end of the cases. Is that clear? Now my one of my question is if I put a semicolon, what is going to happen? And you can compare this concept with, if you forgot also anything here, I just wrote this one. You can compare with that. Only if condition and a semicolon. Will it compile or will it give no?
It doesn't check the condition.
Yeah, it will check the condition. It will check the condition, it will check the answer, but there is nothing to do after that. There's no statement connected to that condition. If it's true also we are not doing anything. Even if it's false, we are not doing it. That's the only thing. This condition is evaluated and it gives true, but there is no connected statement for this. Nothing to
Okay.
execute. Right? That means if I write something like this, you have to execute that on this. Whatever is there, you should execute finally and get its answer. If it's something like this, okay, 1, and if I've given here as minus minus, what will happen here? Pre-decrement. So what's the value here?
0.
0. Do I have any sentence followed by the else statement?
No.
Nothing. So that means there is no reason whether I put it A or I write it A plus plus. Doesn't matter. It's not affecting any statement to be executed. So this is a always executable statement. So this is going to always execute. So did it give any compilation error or it got compiled and executed?
It gets compiled.
And executed also. But now will it compile and execute or will it give an error?
Will compile.
Sorry, it will
It will compile.
think again.
Compile.
Think again.
Actually, no. Misplaced else.
Yeah, misplaced. So same concept. Follow the same thing here. So switch also actually it has lot of cases. We are putting the border. These cases should be belonging to what exactly? Cases should belong to what? Are they independent or they are dependent on some concept?
Switch.
Switch. They should be connected with switch. Now we have written so many cases, but is there any switch connected to it or is it separated?
Separated.
Separated.
So will it compile or give an error?
Error.
Yeah, error. Misplaced cases only. Cases are outside the switch board. So this will give an error concept. Says that cases are outside the switch board. Where is the switch body? It starts here. I've given a big block of switch board till here. So all the cases are now outside switch board. Because as of now there is no body connected to switch. There is nothing here. Body is here only, empty body. And these are the cases which are outside the switch body. This is not the switch body. Switch body is before the semicolon, which is empty body. Right? So this gives a compilation. Is that clear? Now,
Yes.
one more point. If I write the same concept, any option or CH or whatever variable you have, I'm writing case something. Just check, will it compile or will it give an error? Now will it give an error? What is the doubt here? So do you see any error in this concept or is it okay? Will it compile or give an error? Is this correct? This line? Check line well. Is there any problem in this line?
Did not put in a block.
Yeah, so if I don't put a block, what is the concept? What is the meaning of a block? What is it block?
It's not connected with the switch condition.
Which condition? Which switch
Switch
condition?
option.
Which option? This is one line, no? There is no block I have. I didn't write any open
Yeah.
close flower braces. What does it mean? If I write like this, what does it? What does it?
Only the first statement is connected.
Yeah, so when we don't give the block explicitly, it will take internally a single line inside. Compiler will add only first line in the block, if block. So here also you can apply the same law. Did I write anything inside the switch block? Did I create any block here? Did I write any block?
No.
So what will be added in the block? Compiler generated block. How many cases?
First one.
Only the first one. Then what about these second cases and default keyword? Is it connected with that or is it separated out?
Separated.
That means these case B and default cases are found outside the switch body. This is also an error statement. This is wrong. So none of the cases should be outside switch. None of the cases. Right? Clear? So here in the scenario, two cases. That means case B and default are found outside. Okay, switch block, switch body case. That is flag cases. That means it's missing. So because it is missing, only one state, one case will be included. First case is included. Okay. So that means when I miss the statement of opening closing braces, the first case only is the correct case. It's a inside the ball. Install comes out of the error. It's outside and this is an error state. So compilation error. Okay. Now we have more. Just try your best. We need to compile or give it. Error in the program. Will it compile or not?
Error.
What is the error?
They're not in a block. Compilation error.
What is not in the block? Okay, where is your block? Compile. You're a compiler.
Okay.
While compilation, you'll add a block. From where the block will start? You are a compiler. I missed the block. As a programmer, I didn't write the block. So you are a compiler. While compilation, you have seen I missed the block. So you are going to close the blocks. Where are the blocks starting from?
First case.
And after that, where will it close?
First line. Success.
Right? So that means there is no break keyword, nothing, but switch is closed. But switch has how many cases right now?
First case.
Only one case. There is no other case also here. Since there is no other case, there is only one case, and that is also inside the switch. This is a proper statement. And after that, the second sentence is just a normal sentence, which is normally written like after every if concept or at the end of anything. We have written like a normal sentence. It's outside the switch like a general statement. Normal statement. Right? Any confusion till here? So switch can have one or more cases or no cases also. Like for MCQs, for real-time programming, definitely will write switch with more than one case only. I will not use switch for only one like a two if else concept. If I am writing a program with only two options where I can use if else, I will never use a switch case. When we have more options like dial 1 for broadband, dial 2 for something, dial 3, dial 4, like lot of options are there. Such scenarios will reduce the coding because in if else you can understand. You write first as if ch double equal to a, else if. So there is more coding there. Here it's simple. I'm not writing so many comparisons. I'm writing the variable only once here. Like in if else, I have to write for every statement we have to write like this. We have to mention it for the first sentence. For the second sentence also, we have to repeat the same concept. CH should be repeated so many times, right? So this is repeated again and again on every condition. But anyhow, we are checking the same variable against minimum many options. So why should I write so many times CH? Better to write it only once here in this location and check whether it is matching with all the other five values. So I will use CH only once, unlike the if else ladder conditions, where I will see CH so many times. Plus, the keywords are increased so many times. If, else if, so many words are used here. It's more clear. If it's A, print. If it's C, print. If it's O, print that. It's very clear concept. Clear? So that means whenever we have more options, first thing is we have to go for switch. Next thing, it can have, but conditionally means it can have zero or more cases. It's not mandatory to have some cases. Now, cases must be constant, must have a constant value. So, what do you mean by a constant value? Just like a number, just like a letter, and this constant value also of integer or character, but no other type, but not other data types. So these are only supported, only integer or character, no other data types as a constant, or any expression which returns which gives the constant answer. Constant answer. Mathematical, just think like a mathematical. It should always give the same answer, like 2 plus 3 or 2 plus 4 minus 3. Compiler and compilation or while execution, answer is it same or is it going to vary depending upon different time? Will this answer be always same or different? Can it be different at time to time?
Same.
So it's always 3 as a constant. It's a constant answer. So this expression can be given as case. I can mention that also. I can do that. So which is fixed, which does not change. That means can I use variables for the cases?
No.
Not allowed at all in cases because it cannot change. The main concept is cases should not change its value. Cases should never change their values. So once you have written in the program, before, at the time of writing or at the time of execution, it should never change. From the time of the coding, during compilation and execution, there should not be changes in that. Once you have put a value till the end of the program, it should be the same. So what kind of keywords? Okay, what are constants right now? How do we define constants? This is one. Any other way? Any other way to give constants? How to give constants? Is this the only or is there any other way in C language to make a constant? Okay, is there any keyword like this? We have a keyword. Const is a keyword in
Yeah.
C language.
Yes.
So what is the meaning of that keyword? The is,
Constant.
yeah,
Age
it's the,
value is fixed.
yeah. So now A was a variable initially, and now it is a constant. But this is not allowed. Still, this is not allowed in cases. Can you tell the reason? Any idea about that? As const is evaluated at runtime. Means I just did the coding here. I did the coding and compilation. The system will not make it as a final event constantly. I have written the program and compile. When you run the program only, the variable memory will be allocation, value will be loaded, and now it is made as a constant. Means the variable A will become a constant only at which time? At runtime. So variable to constant conversion is done at which time? Is at runtime, not in compilation. So anything which is not a constant during compilation time will not be accepted like constants. So all those are variables. Okay, I'll give one more example. You have pre-processed, pre-compiled code like hash define. There's a keyword. There's a like hash include we say, no, these are pre-processed, pre-compiled, already compiled code. So this program, this line will never compile right now. This is already compiled code, which we write in the beginning of the program. Already compiled. What will get compiled? Only the lines which we write after that. These lines are getting compiled and then we'll get a meaning out of it. So these all lines will get compiled and then gets executed. But what about this lines which I said hash included, hash defined? If I say A and 5. This A is a constant. That means before compilation itself using preprocessor constants, preprocessed directives. So hash define is a already precompiled constant keyword, or we say the directives by which what I can need, I can set some information as a constant. I'll give a name to it. A name. It's not a variable right now. So A is just a name against which value 5. So wherever I want to print 5, I can directly say now I can just use it. In my coding I can use that like a constant. Instead of that I can say Like when can I use something sometimes like, okay, max value of max temperature, something. There is a meaning. If I write max, it's more meaningful. But if I write 5, do I understand what is the meaning of that? It's just like a number phrase. So if I say max, I can understand it's the maximum value for something. So I can give a constant a name by using which concept? Preprocessor directive called hash define. So that means max is already pre-compiled constant. And what is the value of this max? 5. Now I can use them and the cases. So I can just write the switches and I can use these cases as, if I say the option, option variable, you get access that from the user. I can use the case values as, I can use this case as max. If the case is max, what I should say? It's a maximum temperature. Okay, maximum size of the batch. So I'm just writing like an online class, I'm taking maximum 5. So I've written this. So what is the minimum size of the batch right now? I'll just take it as 3. Okay, hash define by max. Minimum batch size is 3. Then only a batch will be started. So if the case value is 5, what is the batch size? Please enter the batch size. Enter the size of the batch. So I will scan the value. This is option. Now check the option. What is the first case value? Max. If you have entered 5, I can say this is the maximum size and no more. And the batch is locked. And no more entries allowed. Okay. And what should I say for next one? So I'm writing as a break right now. Case if the user has entered the number, batch size is 3. It's the minimum size of the batch. And batch can be started and we can add 2 more students. 2 more entries to this batch. Right? So this is the message for the second case study. Now if we enter something else, case 1, what should I say? What should I say for case 2? Batch size means I'm saying enter the number of students, size of the batch or number of students. So I'm saying number of the students. So what should I say if he enters 1 or 2? What should be your answer? Can I allow that batch? Will that batch be started or it's this number of students is less than the minimum batch size? User says, we have only 2 students available for this batch. Now, like you have 2. So, should I start or not according to this criteria?
No.
So, I should say here a message that number of students lesser than the min size of the batch. Right? But if we enter something else, like 0 or wrong values, that will come under which case right now?
Default.
Default. There is one more case like if it says, okay, higher or lower. We have to say higher, it's crossing something, more than 5 or something like that. So you have to write a condition for that also. Because I cannot write that like a variable. If option is more than or equal to max, I cannot write that. Because in this expression also what do we have? A variable. And I can never expect any expression in the cases including a variable in that. If it was not a variable, I would have accepted something like this. So if any value are given like a constant, it is only accepted for cases, but I cannot use variable options for the cases. So I'm writing that one. Default is some not allowed. That cannot be created. Noted with this one. Is that clear? So cases can only have constants. Constant in your mind should be only two things. Directly put the value. That is a constant. Simple thing. And what is the other way of constants in cases? Only hash dependent constants. Not the ones with which keyword? Const keyword. So const keyword cases are not allowed in C language. We can't use const variables as cases because these are variables during compilation. At runtime only they will be converted as constants. First variable is loaded and then it will be loaded with a value, then it will be converted as a constant. So to become a constant it takes time. But initially what is a value? It's a variable. Initially a is a variable. But later during execution of the program it becomes a constant. So such thing we cannot use for cases. Any doubts other than this concept?
No, ma'am.
So we'll do some programs anyhow with this concept. So tomorrow is Sunday, no? So if I send you some 5 to 6 programs, can you solve it and send me by tomorrow evening the solutions for those programs?
Yeah.
Yes.
Fine. So any doubts you can ask me right now in this concepts. Do you have any doubts right now?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Now I'll just ask one question. I'm not writing the code. You're just writing the code to accept this. So all the concepts will be same in C. We have to just integrate them. Everything is same. Is this okay or not? Is it correct or not?
Correct.
Yeah. So in this options, it can be anything, any variable, constant, or any expression, but it should have some value. So what is the output right now?
3 alphabet.
Again, you're doing wrong. You're giving quick answers. Think of it. Because you have to carefully give
Um,
the answer. Careful.
it will first print
One.
ABC
Yeah. Then
and 3.
and to make 3 alphabets. Fine. Because only the option is the last option. No?
A in the first case.
In six concepts. What is important in switch? What all concepts are important in switch?
Break.
Yeah, break keyword. Did you see any break keyword here?
No.
No,
It
because
will
it's
print all 3.
all the 3 sentences because it's under matching first one. Other two will not be checked only. It will directly execute. Previously, it was having how many letters?
3.
3. So it was not matched in this first one. So it did not execute. Second did not execute. But only the last case was matched. So it just executed last one. So main thing is entry point. Once it entered into a case, if break is missing, remaining all will get executed. So if it's A, B, A only, it should be A at all the 3 sentences. A with all the sentences. Okay. Is default case mandatory? Will it compile or give an error?
will compile.
It will.
So default case, not mandatory. Case is always optional. Same like in the if-else ladder also. Similar to the if-else ladder. In if-else ladder also, here else is not mandatory. Else is optional. You may or may not write. It's up to you. But it's always write better to write the default or the else cases. Else or the because it will give a wrong message. See, whenever you do any app's execution, it may be right 99%, but there is a chance that it may do wrong also. So what should happen if somebody does wrong? We should get some wrong message. No? There should be a wrong message also, failure messages also. So failure messages are very much important in applications because otherwise customer will be blank. What has happened? I'm not getting an output. You inserted a card, you're not getting any message because it was wrong. So it should not be like that. Even if it's success or a failure, I should definitely get a message. So it's better to add always a default or a else case, but it's not mandatory. Right? Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Main things are these only. It cannot have double values, it cannot have string values, it cannot have long values, nothing like that. And only constants, constant mathematical expressions, anything like this. This is always true. So this is also constant. It will not give a different answers at time. So anything is accepted in this case. Okay. That's it for today's topic. And the next we'll start I think from Monday loops. Loops will be very important and very interesting. So I think it will go for 3 to 4 classes for loops itself. Because there at least I think 100 to more than 100 programs will be easily. And anyhow, I'll give some examples today. We'll solve it better and see the answers. Okay. No doubts for today?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.